Today we learn how to draw front view and top view of this given problem in the plane which is inclined to both the planes in the engineering drawing. Okay, let us read out this problem. A pentagonal plate 50 mm side length has one of its corner on HP and the side opposite to that corner is making 45 degrees to VP. The surface is inclined at 30 degrees to HP. Draw the projections. Okay. First we have to draw the XY reference line. Reference line XY. Okay. First pentagon. So corner in HP and opposite that corner side making 45 degrees to VP and the surface is inclined at 30 degrees. Suppose to satisfy these conditions, the plane satisfied these conditions. So first we have to draw the first position of that plane is to be set up in this orientation. First you draw a vertical line here, here you set up set a length is set a length here, this is the pentagon side. Let us say that it is 50, name it is first you can construct the pentagon in this position. So next you know that you set up 108 degrees here you set up 108 degrees here. Through this you draw a line through this 108 degrees, this is also 108 degrees, through that you draw a line, like this. Here also you draw a line like this, with the side, this is the side, this is a center, you cut this, is also center, you cut this, and this is as a center, you draw a arc, this is as a center, you draw a arc. Okay, now you join this one, you can get the pentagon. Okay. Okay, this is okay. Draw the pentagon like this. This is the 108 degrees, then through this you draw a line, this length equal to, this side of the pentagon equal to 50, okay, or otherwise you can represent here, this is the 50. Okay, now you construct a pentagon. First you have to set up the pentagon in this position in the, you know that this is the vertical plane, front view, this is the horizontal plane, top view. Okay, once you set up here 108 degrees, you draw a line, this is the cut it, this is the 150 mm side. Now you can name it okay, A, B, C, D, E, name it. Okay, now like this you have to construct this pentagon in this position. The corner in the HP and this face is opposite to the corner, you have to draw in this position, in order to get the this one side is making 45 degrees to VP and surface inclined to 30 degrees to HP. Okay, once you draw this one, already I explained 180 degrees, 180, you draw a line, this is that setup, this is the 50, from here, center, C as center, you cut it, the B as center, you cut it, 50, again A as center, you cut it, D as center, you cut it, so that you join this one, you can get pentagon here. Here you draw the projectors on the XY line, XY line, these two are passing through same line, so therefore this is the front view, this is the top view, this is the top view, this is the front view, this is the name, this is the E dash, this is the A dash, D dash, put it in bracket, B dash, this is the C dash, put it in bracket. Once this is the position is over, this is the front view, this is the top view. Then next step, you make it surface 30 degrees to HP, 30 degrees to HP. So therefore here you select a point here, doesn't matter this distance, you select a point here, you select a point, you make it 30 degrees HP, 30 degrees to HP, you draw a line, HP, okay. You draw a line like this, and D dash, B dash, C dash as a radius. This is let us say that this is the E1 dash, E1 dash as a center, E dash, B dash, C1 dash as a radius, E dash, E1 dash as a center. You draw this arc, okay. This arc is nothing but B1 dash is the C1 dash. Next, E dash, A dash and D1 dash, E dash and D1 dash as a radius, again E1 as a E1 dash as a center, you cut it here, okay. This is the A1 dash, this is the D1 dash. Here you draw the projectors, vertical direction, you draw the projectors perpendicular to XY. Then again you draw projectors in the parallel direction to XY through C, B, A, D and E. And E. Like this you draw vertical projections from this front view, and it is making angle 30 degrees from this top view. You draw the projectors. Then once you draw the projectors, E1 dash and E dash and E1 dash, they met at this point. Let us say that this is the E1, A dash, A1 dash and A dash, they met at this point. This is the A1. The same point there is a D1 dash and D dash, they met at this point. This is a D1. B1 dash and this is the B. This is the B point. So they met at this point. So this is a B1. Same point there is a C1 dash. This is the C. So therefore this is the C. So therefore this is the C1 dash. Then you can join these points, A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to A. Okay, these are all the projectors should be light. It should be light. Okay. Once HP is making 30 degrees, you 30 degrees, then you complete the front view and top the front view and top view. Now we can rotate, you can B dash and B1 and C1 make it 60 degrees to, sorry, B1 C1 make it 45 degrees to VP, then only this condition will be satisfied. Now again you draw 60 degrees to Y, 60 degrees to line like this, this is the 60 degrees, then you see here C1 B1 as a radius, you take it any point on here at this point, let us say that anywhere you can take it to point here. C1 B1 as a radius, this point as a, you cut it here. This is a C2, this is the B2. This is the C2 B2. Then you draw perpendicular here. You draw perpendicular here, light. This is the, you draw perpendicular here. You can measure. Always you focus on how to construct easily in the diagram. So that this is the distance. You cut it here. You cut it here. Through this, you draw a small line like this. Once you draw a line, you see here C1 D1 as a radius, C1 as a center, you cut it here. At the same time, this is also same thing, B dash B1 and A1, so B2 as a radius, you cut this, you cut it here. Okay, this is the point. Once you cut it here, again A1 E1 as a radius, obviously this is the A2, this is the D2. A1 E1 as a radius, A2 as a center, you draw the arc here. Here also D1 E1 as center, you draw the radius D1 and D1 E1 as a distance, D2 as a radius, you cut it here. Okay, obviously it is coming over here. You join these lines. Okay, so now sorry, not this one. From here D2 this is join here, this is also D2, A2 you join here, D2 you join here, D2 to C2 you join here, A2 to B2 you join here, like this. Again I am explaining here once again here. This is the B2 C2 as a radius at any one point on this line 60 degrees. You at this point you select a point here. At this you take it this distance C1 C2, you cut it here. Then without set up the degrees, you can easily construct. After that you take it this line distance, you draw the perpendicular to the C2 and B2, perpendicular to this line, perpendicular to this line. After that draw that, you take it, this is a distance, you take it this one, you cut it here, this is a distance, you cut it here, then you draw a line parallel to this one through these points, 2 points, like this, then C1 D1 as a radius, C2 as a radius, center, you cut this line. At the same time B2 A2 radius, B2 as a center, you cut this line. Then A2 E1 as a radius, A2 you cut it, you draw the arc like this, and D1 E1 radius, D2 as a radius, center, you cut it here. Once they cut intersect here, then you join these points. This is the E2. This is the E2. We join these. We join these points like this, like this. Once you join these points, you draw the projectors again, and you draw the projectors like this. Like this, you draw the projector like this. Once you draw the projectors, again from here also you draw the projectors in the parallel to XY line. Parallel to XY line. Through A1, D1 also you draw a parallel line. Parallel to XY line. Once it is completed, again you coming over here. This is the E2. Where is E2? This is the E2. So this is the E2 dash. Next to A2. This is the A2. Where is A2? A1 dash. A2, A1 dash. They are met it here. So this is A2 dash. Next, this is the B2. B2, where is B2? This is the B1 dash. This is the B2. This is the B2. This is the B1 dash. Met it here. This is let us say that this is the B2 dash. Next, this is the C2. Where is C? This same point. This is the met it here. This is the C2 dash. Next, D2. This is the D2. Where is D2? This is D1 dash. They met it here. This is the D2 dash. E is over, everything is over. Now you can join these points. A to, from here A to B. Where is A? B. A, B. A, B. B to C. C to D. D to E. D to E. E to A. Like this. Join this one, you can get like this. You can get like this. Okay? C2, C2. Yes, this is the B2. B2 dash, this is the B2. Yes. Explaining this step once again. So this part, this is the front view. This is the top view to be reconstructed. Reconstructed in such that C1 B1 making 45 degrees to VP, 45 degrees to VP. So therefore you draw set up 45 degrees, you draw a line, you select a point. On this point from this is the center, C1 B1 as a radius, C2 as a center, you draw the arc. This is the B2. From B2 you have to construct this part. At B2 you draw the perpendicular to this line. Here on C2 you draw perpendicular to this line. Then you measure this one, you cut it here, measure this one, you cut it here. Then you draw a line passing through these 2 points. Then you take it, this as a radius, C1 as a center, you cut it this line, and B1 A1 as a radius, B2 as a center, you cut it here. Then D1 E1 as a radius, D2 as a center, you draw a arc. A1 E1 as a radius, A2 as a center, you draw a arc. They intersect here. Then you join these points. You can get this surface. This is you get this diagram top view. This one side, this side is making 60 degrees to 45 degrees to VP. Then you draw the projectors like this. And you draw the projectors, horizontal projectors like this. Then you find out the points here, C2 and C1 dash. They met it here. This is the C2 dash. D2 D1 dash. They met it here. This is the D2 dash. Next, this is the E2 E1 dash. They met it here. This is the E2 dash, E2 dash. Next, this is the A2 A1 dash. They met it here. This is the A2 dash. This is the A2 dash. Next, B2 the B1 dash. They met it here. This is the B2 dash. C1, C2, C1 dash, they met it here, the C2 dash. Once they locate that point, you simply join A to B, B to C, C to D, D to E, E to A. This is the front view. This is the front view. So this is the final positions of this is the front view and this is the top view when the plane is the plane the corner on HP the opposite side making 45 degrees to VP and surface making 30 degrees to HP. In that position, this is the top view and this is the front view. This is the front view. Thank you.